I call the member for Petrie.
Well, thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I appreciate the call. I'm really pleased to rise and stand and speak on the Treasury Laws Amendment Accelerated Depreciation for Small Business Entities Bill 2018, and I'm pleased to do it because it's part of our plan for jobs and growth, and we know that our policies are working. We've seen record jobs growth in the last 12 months, some 420,000 jobs, in fact, throughout Australia over the last 12 months. The vast majority of those being in small and family-owned businesses, and funnily enough, for senators and the MPs on the other side of the House, most of those jobs have been created in businesses with a turnover of up to $50 million. And why is that so significant? Because that's where we've actually reduced company tax. In businesses up to $50 million, they're the ones that are employing people, they're the ones that are giving people a head start and giving them a job and giving them aspiration, I guess, as they move from one job to another. What's really interesting as well, Mr Deputy Speaker, is today those opposite opposed $140 billion in tax cuts, income tax cuts. They want to make sure that Australians don't keep their own money. They actually want to take more of your money, your hard-earned income tax. They don't want to pass that through the Senate. And it's a real shame, absolute shame, because we know that hard-working Australians do extremely well. And we talk a little bit today about aspiration, and the Deputy Leader opposite says she has no idea what that means or what it is, or she has no aspiration. The fact is that I know people, Mr Deputy Speaker, that were earning $40,000 about 6 years ago, and now they're on well over $80,000. Other people I know that were on $90,000 that are now on over a couple of $100,000. So aspiration is a good thing for everyone, for every young person in this country, for everyone that wants to get ahead, for everyone who has a goal or a dream that wants to get ahead. This is important, and that's why we're eliminating bracket creep and providing aspiration to those people that want to do it. But the Labor Party stand opposed to it because we know, heading into the next election in 10 months, that they're for higher taxes, we're for lower taxes. They're for more spending of your money and taxing you more. We're for better management of your money, wanting to see the economy come back to surplus next year. But in relation to this bill in particular and company tax, we also know that small businesses aren't just businesses under $2 million like those opposite would have you believe. I mean, it's just an absolute fantasy. They need to get out and get in the real world. This bill will apply for all businesses up to $10 million, and I want to say to the businesses in my electorate, you've got a great opportunity in the next week and a half. Go grab it. Before the end of June, 30th of June, next Saturday, you've got the opportunity to buy products, maybe any product you like, up to $20,000, and you can instantly write it off this financial year rather than having your accountant depreciate it over 3, 4 or 5 years or whatever is applicable. So this is a good measure that was extended in this year's budget, so it will go next year as well, that the Treasurer put forward, and I'm very pleased to support it. But businesses should take advantage in the next week and a half. And there's lots of opportunities, Mr Deputy Speaker, for businesses in my electorate, and I'm sure in every member's electorate here, for businesses to take advantage of this measure. In my own electorate, I have some fantastic artists, Mr Deputy Speaker. I have a lady called Jo St Baker, who is an individual artist that runs a business out of Moncomo in Redcliffe, and she does some fantastic artwork in relation to the local environment, the local seaside that we live on the Redcliffe Peninsula. She has pieces for a couple of $100 up to a few thousand, and you might find that a business has just fitted out their office and they want a new piece of artwork for their front foyer. They can go down and see Jo St Baker and pick up a piece, and they can instantly write that off this year, which is important. There's also another lady called Sharon Trencad from Tailored Artworks. Sharon's a lovely lady, does some fantastic work. She's a really good networker. She lives just over in Marumba Downs and goes to the North Lakes Chamber of Commerce. And Tailored Artworks customise artworks and they transform spaces. So someone might have put in a new kitchen. We'll get to new kitchens in a moment. But someone might want to put in a new kitchen and has a splashback and wants to create a special art piece there in their business, and they'll be able to take advantage of the instant asset tax write-off if Sharon can get it done within the next week and a half. I imagine she's pretty busy. If you're a business and you need a new kitchen, people like Kingswood Cabinets at Narangba in my electorate, they have a whole range of different kitchen products for a few $1,000s, and not only will you be able to give business to them and instantly write it off this year, but you'll also be able to get the local carpenter or installers some work as well, which is important as well. Businesses may be after a new car or a second-hand car. They could go and see Village Motors at North Lakes, or Jeep and VW down at Redcliffe Kippa-Ring. There's a whole load of car dealers in my electorate which they could do. They've got Mazda at Aspley as well. People may be able to pick up a vehicle, a new vehicle for under $20,000, a small single cab ute, petrol, which they can grab for under $20,000, or a second-hand vehicle. They've got a week and a half to do so and take advantage of the instant asset tax write-off. And not only that, they can whack a new bull bar on the front, because I've got people in my electorate like East Coast Bull Bars at Clontarf and also Ultimate Bull Bars at Narangba, who make custom bull bars. And East Coast Bull Bars in particular, I'm very fond of what they do. They employ over 100 people. They make the world's best alloy bull bars right in the Petrie electorate, so people can once again take advantage of the instant asset tax write-off. Now remember, if this wasn't extended, businesses buying these products would have to depreciate it over 7 years. And for the member for Kennedy, these are Australian-made, manufactured bull bars made right here in my electorate, which is good. I know he's always on about manufacturing. Should be jumping for joy on this one. We've also got Kennedy's Timbers at Narangba that sell a whole lot of recycled timber, which is fantastic. If the business is looking to do up their foyer with some new timber, they could take advantage of that. Of course, you can also buy new computers or new servers or new monitors from perhaps one of the Harvey Norman stores or an individual small business that sells computers in my electorate. You may want to reward the staff and get them a new coffee machine, Mr Deputy Speaker. Now, I've got a great coffee roaster in my electorate, Nellie's Coffee at Clontarf, that also sell machines. If you want to buy a coffee machine for $1,500, rather than depreciating over a few years, you can instantly write that off in the next week and a half. And because the government has a plan for small business, it will be extended next year as well. Another good manufacturer in my electorate is Polyworld at Clontarf, and they sell water tanks, all types of water tanks. And if you want to get a water tank for your business, you may be using a lot of water, be able to hook it up to the roof, catch some of that water, use it in your business. You'll not only be providing some work for Polyworld, but also those individual plumbers that will install it for you. People, of course, we know businesses are very sensitive with energy prices at the moment. Energy prices are a real issue. I've spoken on this. We need to make sure that we have reliable, affordable energy as well as renewable. We need to make sure that we adopt the government's RET and not go to the reckless 50% renewable target that the Labor Party have opposite, which will continue to send up prices. Remember that when those opposite were in government, energy prices doubled for businesses in my electorate. Well, you might want to take advantage of Springers Solar or Solar Elec in Clontarf, who are local businesses that sell solar, and they can put it on your roof. And if you're a business, I'd encourage you to take advantage of that now, because obviously most businesses operate between daylight hours, between about 9 and 5 or 8 and 5, whatever it is. I know the days are a bit short at the moment in winter, but that's the perfect place to install solar, because as you're actually producing it, you can use it at the same time. Don't worry about selling it back into the grid. Just use it as you create it. Mr Deputy Speaker, I could go on. There's a whole range of businesses in my electorate where people can take advantage of the instant asset tax write-off, and I'm very pleased to rise and support this bill because I know it's creating jobs. It's part of the government's plan, and once again I go back to the 420,000 jobs created in the last 12 months. This stuff just doesn't happen by accident. It was a detailed plan in relation to jobs and economic growth that centred around business tax cuts. We've seen the advantage in cutting company tax for businesses up to $50 million, because once again that's where the jobs have been created. The instant asset tax write-off is benefiting as well. And we also know that free trade agreements have also been beneficial. I think of some of the places like Moreton Bay Seafoods in my electorate that sell prawns and so forth into China. They've been able to take advantage of that, which is really important. Defence manufacturing, I'm very pleased that the government will be building the Land 400 project in Queensland out of Ipswich, which is good news, and the Deputy Speaker will understand as a Queenslander. That's good news for our electorate, and there's actually businesses in my electorate that will be able to take advantage in the supply chain as well. So we've also seen in these free trade agreements really helping in agriculture, and I know a lot of people in my electorate really care about farming, and we've seen some agriculture boosts happening because of free trade agreements as well. So our plan around defence manufacturing, our plan around free trade agreements and agriculture, our plan around business tax cuts is all producing jobs and economic growth. And the more economic growth we get, the more income tax and company tax we have, and that's why next year we'll be balancing the budget. That's all at risk, of course, if the Labor Party is elected. We know they're reckless. We know that they don't understand small business. If they would, they'd certainly be supporting the instant asset tax write-off for businesses up to $10 million. It's just outrageous that they think only businesses under $2 million will take advantage of this opportunity. And I would say that this is good policy and I support the bill.
I thank the honourable